Good morning, students. In the previous lectures, we had discussed about the phylum Aschelminthes. Then we had discussed about the characteristic features of phylum Aschelminthes. And today's lecture will be on the economic importance of Aschelminthes. Myself, Balram Sain, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Dunga College, Bikaner. Economic importance of Aschelminthes. Before coming to the topic, we will just rebrush about the phylum Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes are pseudocoelomate and unsegmented and worm-like animals. They are free-living or parasite. They are commonly known as nematodes. These are very important in the economic and medical point of view because they affect the economy and health of the man in various ways. Most of them are parasites living in man and other organisms, and they obtain food from them. They also cause disease in man, domestic animals, and plants. They cause little or extensive damage in the host. In general, 50 species of roundworms live as human parasites. Most of them do not acquire intermediate hosts. The infection is direct by contamination through water, air, and food. Some Aschelminthes live as parasites in cattle, sheep, poultry, and in various vertebrates. The roundworms also live as parasites in various crops and plants. The parasites of phylum Aschelminthes are classified into three categories. First, the human parasites, plant parasites, and parasites of domestic animals. But today's lecture will be mostly about the human parasites from the phylum Aschelminthes. Human parasites from phylum Aschelminthes. Although the list is much longer, but in today's lecture we had focused on these parasites from phylum Aschelminthes. First is the Ascarious Lumbriocytes, Encyclostoma duodenale, Wuchereria Bankrophyte, Draculas Medinensis, Antobius vernicularis, Trichocephalus tricurus, Loa. Now we will discuss in the upcoming slides these parasites one by one. First is the Ascarious Lumbriocytes. It is commonly called as roundworm. It is an endoparasite living in the intestine of man. It is more common in children than in adults. The male worm is smaller than the female. The male worm is recurved at its posterior end with a pair of pineal setae. The infection is by contamination through food and water. It causes hemorrhage, pneumonia, and inflammation of gallbladder and bile duct. It is a monogenic parasite. That means it completes its life cycle in a single host. This is the Ascarious Lumbriocytes, and it is clearly visible from the picture. The smaller one is the male and it is coiled at the posterior end, whereas females are larger in size as compared to males. Next is the Encyclostoma duodenale. It is commonly called as hookworm. The adult lives in the intestine of man. It sucks the blood, lymph, bits of mucous membrane and tissue fluids. Again, it is monogenic parasite that means it completes its life cycle in a single host. The juveniles enter man through the skin from the contaminated soil. This is the picture of Encyclostoma duodenale. Next is the Wuchereria Bankrophyte. It is commonly known as or called as filarial worm. It is digenic parasite. That means it completes its life cycle in two hosts. Man is the primary host and the Culex mosquito is the secondary host. It lives in the lymph nodes and lymph vessels of man. It is viviparous, that means it lays eggs. It causes a serious disease in men called elephantiasis, hathi paw rog, due to the blocking of lymph vessels and glands. As a result of this disease, the person suffering from elephantiasis, one leg enlarges in size and we can say हाथी का पांव होता है वैसा मनुष्य का हो जाता है, इसलिए इसे सामान्य तौर पर हाथी पांव रोग भी कहा जाता है. This is the picture of Wuchereria Bankrophyte. Next is Draculas Medinensis. It is commonly known as guinea worm. It is an endoparasite living in the subcutaneous tissue. Again, it is digenic because it completes its life cycle in two hosts. The primary host is man and the intermediate host is cyclops. It produces blisters on the skin. This is the picture of the Draculas Medinensis. Next is Antobius vernicularis. It is commonly known as pinworm. It lives in the cecum. The worms are slender. It is monogenic parasite. It causes severe itching in the perianal region. And this is the picture of the Antobius vernicularis. Next is Trichocephalus tricurus. It is commonly called as whipworm. Whip means chabuk. As you can see from the picture, it is resembling the structure of whip, so commonly called as whipworm. It occurs in the cecum and large intestine of man. It causes damage to the epithelial cells and blood cells. It is monogenic endoparasite. The severe infection causes anemia and abdominal pain. Next is Loa loa. It is found in Africa and is commonly called as African eyeworm. During their migration, they pass across the eyeball. The intermediate host is mango flies. It causes swelling and pain in the eyes. This is a picture of Loa loa, and in the second picture, in the eye, the arrow is pointing the African eyeworm or Loa loa, and it is passing across the eyeball, and due to its infection, swelling and pain in the eyes occur. Thanks a lot for paying attention, and in the upcoming lectures we will discuss more about the phylum Aschelminthes. Thanks a lot again.